America is to be a great nation. This must become true. And so let freedom ring. And when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Finally, it's been a while. No, it hasn't been that long. I know you guys just caught that clip with Martin Luther King. It was a deep, powerful message. And I put that message in there so that way people know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about history. Welcome to the episode 3 of It Is All About You. And you guys already know what time in the month it is. It's Black History Month. It is a month that most black people, well, all black people, like to celebrate and indulge into the culture and the history of the blacks, or the urban community, should I say. You guys are going to hear some things and different opinions and different outlooks on how Black History Month is viewed as today.
Black history in today's society, I'll say it's just that. It's history, because at this point, people are moving it forward. You know, we can't stay in the past and we can't dwell on the history so much. We've already learned those things, and I feel that we've already learned from those things. So with all the knowledge that we have now, all we can do is make ourselves better and advance our people for the next generation or generations to come. If we base on history from the past, you know, we'll get to talking about some crazy things. People don't want to talk about that stuff anymore. And it's not that it's not good to know. Of course it's good to know. But once we dwell on those things, I think it stays within our mind that we have to still be the things from the past, as opposed to building ourselves up for the future.
Young lives matter, black lives matter, your life matters, all life matters. Because of social class and different matters, a mother is left childless, and I don't know what side of the fact that people say he is hurt. But the fact that young life was deemed worthless, very present discrimination, still plaguing the nation, but we all equal creation.
Now tonight is about celebrating Black history and Black excellence. African Americans have a long tradition of using their bodies and their voices as means of resistance. The poet becomes a champion for justice. Rhythmic drums paint pictures of history dating back to a homeland few of us have seen. Dance creates a space for freedom, while song heals generational wounds.
This is my poem. I wrote it back when Miss Huth sat us down Poetry Club, and she asked us, what is it like being a person of color? And I wrote a poem about it because the experience seemed to remind me of something, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. What is it like being a POC? I think to myself, why is this a question? Why do I have to answer? What started this discussion? My existence granted me this privilege, but why? Why do they ask our people, what is it like being black, orange, red, or blue? So I asked them, are you sure you want the answer? I asked them, why does the life of my family, my friends, and my race resemble the life of an animal? When you go to a zoo to watch the animals trapped behind a pane of glass, do you ask them how they feel? Being restricted behind a pane of glass, wishing they knew where they were, instead of being in their nature. Do you tell them how you rescued them just as you wrote in the history books and said the same thing?
We are Black history, every day, all day. We don't forget the past, but we do not wallow in the past. We move forward. We've always been progressive thinkers. It shall remain so.
Torn between the love and the hate, sinners dressed up like saints. Tomorrow is a new day, gonna be a new rain, let the blood wash away. Torn between the love and the hate, blinded by the scars we made. But the sharpest blade on our darkest day couldn't take the light away. It's an evil world. It's an evil world. It's an evil world, but I've got the light. It's an evil world. It's an evil world. It's an evil world, but I've got the light.
For Christopher's request, I wanted to talk a little bit about what Black history means to me as a creative. Basically, it's the starting point. It's a good era. There's a few eras to actually refer to for inspiration. Not just artistically, like in some painting, but in terms of musically. You study some of the personalities of these artists and creatives during the time frame and some of the struggles they had to deal with. That can be a form of inspiration for myself as an artist, not just for my work, but also just in terms of the direction I want to go in my career and the impact I want to have on my community. So that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it. That's what Black history means to me, being an artist. Once again, my name is Michael Fakir, and I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate you, Chris. At the end of the day, it is all about you.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.